We often have experts here on Good Morning Hudson Valley, and my next guest is an expert on future young stars. Rod Johnson is the author of Rivenmaster's Place, a website devoted to promoting talented youth. That would include preteens and teenage singers, songwriters, instrumentalists, and actors. And Rod actually had been with us, I think, about a year and a half ago. We talked with Rod at that time about some of the young stars he's been profiling. And Rod, I want to welcome you back to Good Morning Hudson Valley.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here with you, Bruce. Thank you so much for having us.
Just out of curiosity, how long have you been doing Rivenmaster's Place?
It's probably been a little over 3 years that we've actually been doing the website, but of course the work with youth through YouTube and connections with the parents extend a year or so beyond that.
I've often mentioned that there are other sites that promote young artists. Yours is not the only one, to be fair, but I find that you are perhaps the only one that really seems to follow, or at least as much as is possible, follow these young people that you write about as their career progresses.
We do our best with that. It's not always easy because many of them move on to other things. And then, of course, there's some that progress quite rapidly and blossom into the market where they're picked up by national networks and things like that. But yes, I do my best to follow through, and even some I'll contact a year or two later to find out how things are going, and seem to have a pretty good rapport with the parents. So that part is easy, but keeping up with them is quite difficult.
In connection with Rivenmaster, and I believe one of the other sites, there's something called Prodigy Camp, where a couple of young people are selected that have been featured, and they get a chance, I believe it's in the state of Washington, to go for a week or so with some music industry veterans.
That's correct. Each year, Rivenmaster Place, along with the Sky Kid and Stars to Come, we do a little searching for new talent, and director Rick Stevenson, who is actually out of Seattle, he is a film producer and director, and we connect with him and interface, and he asks for recommendations, and each year we recommend young people to go to camp. This year was phenomenal because we had 3 young men that were awarded scholarships to attend the camp from my site, and that was Dalton Cyr and Adrian and Julian from Blackberry Jam.
I'd like to play a little bit of, first of all, a song by Dalton, which is a pretty ballad called Whisper.
In my room tonight, wondering where you are. I lie and say it'll be alright, but my heart's too scarred. In my dreams I hear your voice.
What has Dalton been up to lately?
Well, Dalton's a busy boy. Right now he's on tour, going up the East Coast, I believe. And he's just amazing in his songwriting. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons he was chosen to go to Prodigy Camp. Probably the youngest one there, I believe, as well, too, because he was just 13 at the time. And his songwriting mentors were so impressed that were at the camp, they didn't really need to work with him on his writing, but they did work on him with some techniques for his singing. Probably of all the young people I've seen over the last couple of years, Dalton has progressed very rapidly. His fan base is growing immensely. He's got a lot of young ladies that are looking his way.
Adrian and Julian are twins, 16-year-old twins, I believe, from Vermont.
That's correct.
And here's a little bit of one of their songs.
Hey there, baby, let me carry you away. I can make you happy, but only if you stay. No one said that love was easy. We all have a little fights. I hope we'll be together at the end of the night.
And I believe that is an original song for them.
Yes, it is. Matter of fact, they produced that one while they were at Prodigy Camp. They wrote that, music and the lyrics for that. These guys are amazing singers and songwriters. They've got an outstanding ability to harmonize with each other. I don't know if being twins necessarily made that happen, but I'll tell you what, they're both fantastic personalities. They're fun to be around. While they were at Prodigy Camp, I believe that they were mentored by a Chris Orlowski and a Noah Gunderson. in their songwriting. They wrote 2 songs while they were at the camp, and also worked on some more vocal dynamics and things of that nature. I mentioned quickly, Thilo Berndt from Germany attended Prodigy Camp last year from our site, and this year he's going to be traveling from Vermont, or traveling to Vermont, rather, to meet with the boys, and they're going to do songwriting for the whole month of August together. So that should prove to be pretty interesting.
It's interesting how connections are made from your website. People go out and meet other people. And I also noticed that some of the young people that you've featured kind of support each other. They'll go on each other's videos and make comments and give them a little encouragement. So I think it's really nice.
Well, that's what I was hoping, really, Bruce, when we started the site. I really wanted to make these connections and bring these parents together. And there's a lot of pitfalls that's in the music industry as well, and the more the parents team up together and get together and learn from each other, and the kids learn from each other, it makes for a good time all the way around. You
know, Canada seems to be, of recent times, a hotbed for young talent. On your page currently, there's a young man, I believe 12 years old, 12 or 13, named Nic Neufeld. Nic Neufeld is quite an amazing little guy. He was from Saskatchewan, Canada, and I first introduced him on my site last February. Immediately after his article was published, he was spotted by a film director that I had done a movie review for called Ironside. His name is Joel Greenberg, and Mr. Greenberg had made this film and asked me if I would do a film review, which I did. And so then he happened to see the article that I had published for Nick, and it was really his very first introduction on the web. And they really liked what they saw, and they invited him down to film a commercial, and the folks that were putting the commercial together liked him so much they wanted to sign him on the spot. So it was kind of a catalyst that started the whole thing rolling. Let's hear a little bit of Nic Neufeld doing a Bruno Mars song.
I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're wonderful, flawless, ooh, you're a pretty lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else. Oh, I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Fine, so fine. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh, mine.
A little bit of Nic Neufeld. The song is called Treasure. And there's another young man that you've had on your site, I think a few times, Beamer Wigley, who is 10 or 11 years old. He is an amazing guitarist and vocalist.
Beamer is quite the incredible little guy. He's been traveling all over Canada, doing a lot of different concerts. He has requested a lot of places. He's done parades. Matter of fact, tomorrow on Rivenmaster.com, we will have a full update for Beamer, and you'll be able to see what he's been up to the detail. And he's extended his fan base into the U.S. now because he did a lot of traveling throughout, I believe, the East Coast area this past summer. So you want to look forward to seeing that article tomorrow.
And here he is on, I believe, a talent show up in Canada where he performed with just his guitar, again doing a cover of a Bruno Mars song.
Sound the same. Now friends talk about you all the time, so just tear me down. My heart breaks a little when I hear your name.
A little bit of Beamer Wigley, his cover of Bruno Mars, When I Was Your Man. And Rod, the list goes on and on and on and on, it seems. I mean, there's so many great young singers out there.
There are, and Canada seems like it did explode this past year. There was one young man that I'll just mention quickly, Lyric Dubee, who is just amazing, who is writing songs. He's an amazing songwriter. He just produced a brand new CD called Alive, which he sent to me. And so, yeah, the Canadians are really, really pouring it on this year.
Just happened to have something from Lyric here.
Sitting at home, again you are alone, and I wanna be with you.
pick up the phone, 'cause I wanna be with you.
For several of these young performers, you hear the voice. The voice is young, but you hear something there. You definitely can hear talent.
I really enjoy that treble voice. I always enjoyed treble singers, and there's some that just are really outstanding. And I don't know, that X factor that they talk about all the time. You know, it just kind of stands out. And I know you have that same talent because you are a great supporter of these young people, and I so much appreciate what you do in your radio station as well.
Well, thank you. And one young man that you featured on your website, and I think you were the one that really alerted me to his talents. I'm talking about a 14-year-old from upstate New York named Sawyer Fredericks, who just came out with his first full-length CD called Out My Window, and here's one of the songs, a little clip of one of the songs on there that he wrote.
And I walk off the street to your house, knocked on the door, see who's around. You came to answer.
A little bit of Sawyer Fredericks from his song Not My Girl. And you also wrote about something called the Pop City Tour, which will be making a stop in New York City in about the middle of August. I think it's August 18th at the, I believe it's the Bitter End in Greenwich Village in New York City.
That's correct. Yeah, that's going to be a great time. They've got some outstanding young artists that are lined up for that, and those that are interested, please do visit my website at Rivenmaster.com and read all about Pop City Tour. I know that Emma Petz is going to be one of the artists, along with there's a duo from New Jersey originally, I think, and now they're making a lot of hits over in the UK. I think they're called Stylers, maybe. Stylers. Okay. It's been a while since I even read my own article, but I haven't met these boys yet, so I don't know a whole lot about them. I wish I could fly out there to New York and watch them. One I do know about would be Reed Deming. He's going to be there. We've done some articles for Reed, and he also was on the X Factor here this past year.
And Christopher McGinnis.
Oh, let's not forget Christopher for sure, because Christopher was just absolutely amazing. And his singing and his songwriting capabilities for his age, and of course, probably one of the only ones that's ever appeared the places he's appeared in New York for as many times as he has. I think he's beat the Beatles.
We're talking with Rod Johnson. He is the author of the website Rivenmaster's Place, which you can find at rivenmaster.com. And Rod, I hope we've allowed you a few minutes to get some information about some very talented young people on the radio, and I hope maybe some of our listeners will check them out further.
Oh, this is wonderful, Bruce. I always appreciate the invitation, and your support of the website is phenomenal, and we thank you so much for your support.
Rod, as always, pleasure talking with you.
And you as well.